Motorcycle accidents are terrifying experiences. You're hurt, and you need someone on your side who understands. Call the Advocates. They have over 20 years' experience with accident cases and have recovered settlements for hundreds of other motorcyclists. They can handle the medical bills and deal with the insurance company so you can focus on recovering and getting back on your bike. The Advocates are my motorcycle attorneys.
You deserve clear, risk-free advice to help get you back on your feet. You deserve an advocate.
Jake's a childless Catwoman. That's the first reference.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. Anyway. And now, here's Monty.
Yeah, nobody watches this show. Yeah. We're just a... it's not we. You're a childless Catwoman. So it's nobody watches the show because you don't think critically and
don't have a kid. I mean, you can't run the country,
right?
So,
because you're heroin for YouTube users. Yeah, I mean, it just is what.
But we already knew that about.
We
already knew that I say stupid shit all the time.
So Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Hi. Good morning. It's been a very interesting pre-show meeting today. I'm just tossing it out there. Whoa! The Monty Show, presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. Again, I tell you guys every day, if you got hurt at work, I'm sure that your boss is going to take care of you. Do not trust your employer.
I'm not childless anymore.
Wait, you fucking idiot. That is Bro, that is a ladybug.
I get it. It's an orange one.
Who cares?
What am I going to do with it? Just
put it on the fucking plant. You're an asshole. Did you really just murder a ladybug?
I didn't murder it. I sent it off to pasture. It's different.
Do you ever think critically about the life of a ladybug?
Nope. Shouldn't have been down here. Not in the mood for it this morning. Yeah. It's not good timing. It's not.
You just murked a ladybug.
I didn't murk it. I just pulled my shirt and flung it into its own little nature landscape. It's fine. Somewhere down in the carpet somewhere. It's fine.
Dude.
It's fine.
Are ladybugs good luck? I don't believe in good luck, bro.
Yeah.
I believe in critical thinking.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm a childless Catwoman.
Yeah.
Anyway. If you get injured at work today, please don't rely on your employer. I promise you that your workman's comp representative, your workman's comp insurance is not fighting for you. They're fighting for themselves. You need somebody to be your advocate, to fight for you so you can get healthy. You can get back to work. You can get back to providing for your family. You can be the best version of yourself. That's why you should call the Advocates. And I know that a lot of people get weird about lawyering up or calling an attorney. Chat with them online, live online, 24/7, 365. And trust me when I say, if you don't have a case, the Advocates are going to tell you that, because the Advocates don't get paid unless and until they win your case. So they're going to be bluntly honest with you. They're going to tell you the truth. They have nothing to gain by telling you, you have a great case. Let's go lose. That's not how the Advocates do business. That's why one of the things I really respect about their business model is they're not out for the fee. Sure, they want to get paid just like all of us do, right? But they're out to take care of you and do the absolute best by you so that you'll refer your friends and your family. And when you get hurt at work, there's a lot of insecurity. Put your life in the hands of the Advocates, and trust me, they are going to work in earnest for the best outcome. You didn't deserve to get hurt at work today, but you do deserve an advocate at theadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Let's see. Shout outs. Who's here first? OG Gary. Hello. The real Pete Forte, the pro rata we all deserve. OG Gary, I believe it when I see it with Lincoln at USC. Jay Chapman, Lincoln Riley going to USC was a blessing in disguise.
You're an idiot.
For Oklahoma.
You're literally just an idiot, dude.
See, I think Lincoln Riley is this guy, and I would agree with that. I think Lincoln Riley is this guy. And we do this in sports all the time. We did it with LeCap yesterday, where we don't respect greatness. And there's no other way than to look when you look at Lincoln Riley's 74-18 record as a college football coach. 74-18. He was 55-10 at Oklahoma. 37-7 in conference, never lost more than 2. And he was 4-1 in bowl games. Or excuse me, in 4 bowl games. He was 1-3. So we immediately say, well, but what about those 4 conference championships he won at Oklahoma? What about the conference championship that he played for in his first year? Lost to Utah, lost the Cotton Bowl. But what about all the success? Does Lincoln Riley win big games, much to the Cat Ladies' thought? He does not. Jake and I had a huge fight in the pre-show meeting this morning because Jake finally has come to the realization that I wear a size 15 shoe and there's nothing he's doing about that unless he Deion Sanders my left foot. Anyway, the point is, we get into these arguments about Lincoln Riley sucks as a head coach, and we say moronic things like it was a blessing in disguise. Does anybody believe that Oklahoma football is better off with Brett Venables than they are with Lincoln Riley?
No, I've never said that. I've never said that Lincoln sucks. That's never been my take on Lincoln. My take on Lincoln is his, like, you're famous for saying your past behavior tells us what you're going to do in the future.
Exactly right.
So I'm not going to sit here and say, man, dude, Lincoln sucks. He's horrible. You'd never want him to be your head coach. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this guy is a dominant regular season coach who will get you to that bowl game. And in that process will create Heisman Trophy winner after Heisman Trophy winner at the quarterback position, because that's what he's done. That's what he's done. And, yesterday at Big Ten Media Days, he said something that I think a lot of people would be annoyed with, which is, something to the effect of, we're at the top of any conference. And I think that there was a lot of reaction.
Why do you get so, and I want to play this bite because this really pissed you off this morning. And I think Lincoln Riley is a very good politician. Listen to this bite. Did Lincoln Riley make a mistake with this quote?
Yeah, well, we are at the top of the Big Ten Conference. We're at the top of any conference. I don't ever look at ourselves below anybody, and I never will. Listen, 2 years ago, look where Ohio State and Oregon were 2 years ago. Look what they took over. Look what we took over. It takes time. I'm not a magician. I can't wave a magic wand and everything just be perfect right away. But find one area that we had to make progress. So this thing's got momentum. It's coming. Nothing's going to stop it. That's fine. They started at a different point. We'll see where it ends up.
So what upset you about that bite?
I think it's very brash, and it's unnecessary to say that you're at the top of any conference. You're not at the top of the SEC, let's say. You would be at the top of the ACC, in my opinion. You contended for, a Pac-12 championship, and, the Utah saga happened. We all saw that go down. So you were in the Pac-12 championship games. And I don't personally, in my opinion, believe that you are as good as Ohio State. I think Ohio State's better than you are. I think that you have to prove that you're as good as Oregon is. I think last year the Washington-Oregon matchup showed us that good quarterback play can handle Oregon. So if it's the same situation this year and Dan Lanning hasn't really improved or, situationally gotten better as a play caller on the defensive end, then I think USC can handle Oregon, But again, it's this whole concept of Lincoln Riley wants to come into Big Ten Media Day and tell you that USC is this great program that would be at the top of any conference, and we're just sending this message that you're behaving to me like you've just been dominant in college football. And while you did have good seasons, your first 2 seasons out in the Pac-12, I don't know that I would say USC has been dominant in college football so far. Now, Lincoln as a coach, his regular season record speaks for itself. Obviously, he's a hell of a head coach. When I heard him say that, we'd be at the top of any conference. We don't look up to anybody, right? Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I would have preferred you to say, yeah, you know what? Like, we're really excited to be in the Big Ten. We're really excited about the talent that we've been able to bring in on the defensive side, because we knew that was an area that, we had to get better in. I'm looking forward to developing our quarterbacks, and I really think that, we've got something good going here. The part about the momentum that he said, I thought was a great point. You do have momentum. You did start behind where Ohio State and Oregon were. That's true.
So let's talk about your bone to pick with Lincoln on defense. We didn't have a fight. I may have slapped you lightly in the pre-show meeting about your comment that they haven't improved on defense. D'Anton Lynn, who I think most people know, was the defensive coordinator at UCLA. It's not arguable. You cannot make the argument that he was not a massive success at UCLA. I mean, he took them from bottom 50. I think they were 90th or something stupid like that in defense. He took them from 90th to 11th in the country in a very short span of time. Lincoln Riley had a defensive problem. I don't think there's any doubt. We've all talked about it on this show. So you went and hired D'Anton Lynn.
So here's the difference. I'm not denying that he's got talent. I'm saying he's still got a defensive problem. I'm saying that they have to show me that you can put a defensive scheme together. And I would agree. Your defensive coordinator's improved drastically. So theoretically, you should have a much better scheme.
And I would also point out where D'Anton Lynn learned to coach defense. John Harbaugh. When he was with the Ravens, they were an elite defense. He shows. I agree to your point. They have to win on the field, right? And I'm not putting words in your mouth. They've got to come out and stop dudes on the field.
I just think Lincoln Riley has this perception problem where he wants to tell you every year he's the best thing that we've seen, and he is not the best thing we've seen. He's the best regular season thing we've seen. He's the best Heisman Trophy winner guy we've seen. But he hasn't been, even at Oklahoma, man. Dude, they were winning the Big 12 with regularity when he was at Oklahoma. But it wasn't translating to, playing for national championship. I don't even say that you got to win national championships. All I'm saying is, hey, be in the old format, be one of those 4 teams in the college football playoff. Have that translate to that next level. So I'm not trying to hold it over his head that he doesn't win the random bowl game. What I'm saying is that if you're going to come out here and talk about how you're at the top of any conference, you at least need to be in the conversation for the college football playoff. And my God, if this year they don't go to the college football playoff, I will criticize this guy, because and we're at the top of every conference, and, our defense should be better, but then you come out and it's the same thing. I don't think it will be the same thing this year.
I agree that he doesn't historically play defense. He creates Heisman Trophy winners repeatedly. He will win you your regular season conference championship unless he runs into Utah repeatedly. And I think that's all well and good. But you can't look at what he's done at USC this offseason, where you brought in Easton Mascarenas Arnold may well be the steal of the transfer portal. And I think what we saw to him at Oregon State, he's a Mission Viejo kid. He's a great fit. He's a great linebacker. Their defense is better. They could not cover me last year. He went and got 3 of the best corners in the transfer portal. I think you can never say that they're better on defense in totality with any kind of assurance until they do it on the field. And I think that's your best point. But this idea in the Paul Finebaums of the world saying that, hey, here's who's going to replace Lincoln Riley at USC. It's Deion Sanders. To me, that's just you being hot take guy.
Yeah, Deion hasn't shown that they can even do what Lincoln's done. But I also think, to Lincoln's point, Deion hasn't had enough time to even be in the position to compete for like the conference or like, for major accolades. I mean, I like that's the thing. Lincoln Riley doesn't get that benefit of the doubt the way Deion does, because this is Deion's first time. This is not Lincoln's first time. And so, look, the reason the clip frustrated me was not what he said about, hey, like, look where we started versus look where they started. I agree. You started behind the 8 ball at USC. You inherited something that just frankly was garbage. It was not good. The program wasn't in a good place, and you've had to turn that around. And he's done a really good job of that. And I would expect, I haven't looked at their schedule in a minute, but I wouldn't be surprised with a 9-win, 10-win season. Wouldn't be surprised by that. But I think that it rubbed me the wrong way when you want to come out at media day, and I feel like you were talking. You were saying, hey, we're at the top of any conference. Nobody looks down on us. Like, I get it. What else is he gonna say? I just think he could have said it in a more, class way. I think he could have said, yeah, our goal, like our expectation is to compete at the top of any conference that we're in. We expect to, play in big games and win big games. We expect to be competing for the top of the Big Ten. Not like just stating it as fact that you do already. And that's what bothers me about Lincoln.
I think, and again, this is just my opinion, I think that that's what he has to say. I just don't see any other way that you can come out and say that. But that is, in my opinion, this is the Deion Sanders culture. Deion Sanders has had one season at Colorado. Was he successful in the HBCU ranks? Absolutely. Has he proven anything at Colorado? He's not. I don't think Deion Sanders has proven that he can be a successful coach. Has Lincoln Riley proven anything as a head coach? Yes, he has.
Yeah.
And this idea that that Oklahoma is better off after what we've seen Venables do is ludicrous. And I agree with Lincoln Riley and the people saying that, and I think Yogi Roth has talked about this as well. Lincoln Riley likely could not have continued as the head coach at Oklahoma because he did not believe that they were a fit in the SEC. And I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Oklahoma is an afterthought in the SEC. You are going to have to, if you're Oklahoma, what are you not? Well, you're not Texas. And I know that probably pisses people off. You're not Texas. You're not as talented. You're not as deep. You're not as well coached. And in my opinion, you're not ready to compete in that conference at Oklahoma. And I don't know when you're going to be ready.
Well, and Lincoln had that vision too, which I think he deserves credit for. You got off of that train.
His messaging was, our history and our tradition is in the Big 8 and the Big 12. And that's where this program belongs. And I agree with him. He likely had to leave that program because he did not see their vision. And yesterday, when we're hearing about, well, the coaches who didn't want to go to the SEC aren't here anymore. That was a direct shot at Lincoln Riley. And I'm fine with that. But what I'm telling you is, anybody that tells you Oklahoma is better off without Lincoln Riley has not got a clue. It is, and I've heard that 100 times now from Oklahoma fan. And yet when you say to them, like if you look in our comment section a couple of weeks ago, when we were talking about Lincoln Riley last, and I said to so many Oklahoma fans, okay, Lincoln Riley or Brett Venables, which one do you want? Not one of them answered that question because you're taking Lincoln Riley. The guy makes Heisman Trophy candidates. The guy puts you in big games. Doesn't win them, I agree. But it's amazing to me that we have this belief that, and somebody said that he doesn't recruit defense. And I don't remember who in the comment section said that. If you truly believe that, I'm just going to ask you to look at his recruiting class this year when he's got top 5 guys at their positions. When you've got Marcellus Williams, who's a 4-star freshman corner, one of the top 5 corners in his class. Cameron Fountain, by anybody's estimation, was one of the top 5 edge rushers in the class. They didn't go to Oklahoma. They went to USC. And when you look at people like Elijah Newby, the Will linebacker that he recruited, it's awfully difficult to say he doesn't recruit defense when he's the number 3 player in the state of Connecticut. He went and got a 4-star Will linebacker, the number 3 ranked linebacker in Connecticut. And you're telling me the guy doesn't recruit defense. Number 4 in On3 and ESPN's rankings at the position. Number 14 linebacker in the entire country. Nah, I'm telling you, Lincoln, Elijah Newby, you don't want him on your roster. He had major offers from every program, or offers from every major program. Lincoln doesn't recruit defense. Yeah, this is the problem that we run into now. We're all hot take guy. And what I'm telling you is, I actually agree with you on Lincoln Riley. He's got to prove this season. If they give up an exorbitant amount of points, you got to fire Lincoln Riley. I don't give a shit what they do offensively. He's got quarterbacks. He's got talent. He's got speed. He's got hands. He's got what you need offensively. If they do not take an exponential leap forward, a large, big jump forward, and I would think if he's not a top 35 defense in the country, they're in trouble. Because certainly you look at their schedule, and anybody that thinks that USC has an easy schedule, I am, and I was looking at it before the show this morning, and I said to myself, can this be, if you look at USC's schedule, can this be a top 35 defense? Because I think that's going to be the bar. For USC needs to be a top 35 defense. All that new talent, all those new recruits, D'Anton Lynn, Oregon State, UCLA, all this talent coming in on defense, I think you got to be top 35. Well, let's find out on Sunday, September 1st. How about we find out in 5 weeks when they're playing LSU?
Yeah, big game.
That's a huge game. And again, I will say LSU's got a lot of questions to answer on their own.
But still an SEC team, and a good one at that.
At Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, it's a home game for USC.
Yeah.
If you give up 40 points in that game, he might not make it back to LA. You might not make it back to LA. And then you get Utah State. If you don't beat Utah State by 816 points.
I mean, look, I think with the defense, like when you're looking at their schedule, like the thing that comes to mind is like when you're playing LSU or, like their next game is Michigan, you have to be able to stop the run. I mean, that's where it starts as a defense. Like, talking about these linebacker recruits, he's bringing in some defensive line help. You have to have a strong, really, I like to call it a front 5. Those 4 down linemen and those 2 or 3 linebackers, depending on the play. Those guys got to be in the right position at the right time. Like it just has to be better. And I do think it will be better. Like I want to make sure that we're all on the same page about what I think they're going to do this season. Like the offense, I'm not worried about the offense. I think quarterback play could be slightly questionable. We're going to have to see how that works out. Like it's not as clean cut as it was last year because obviously Caleb's not there anymore. So I think you're going to have a little bit of a battle. Maybe injuries take care of that for Lincoln. I don't know. But with the defense, I just want to see them be able to, on 1st and 10, get to a place where they can only give up 2-3 yards, right? And then put the offense in a position where it's like 3rd and 8 or more. That's what I want to see. Last year, you were never in that spot. It was always, remember watching the Utah game, like you were always like 3rd and 2, like 3rd and 1. Like you were always in a place where they could run for the first down. And I think that on the field is what has to change. You got to force these teams to be in passing sets on 3rd down so that you as a defense can have a little bit easier of a time.
I'm not worried about Miller Moss at all. I think you listen to a guy like Jake Butt, the former Michigan tight end, talking about, and I think this is exactly the diagnosis that we've talked about. Jake Butt, Michigan tight end, now works for the Big Ten Network. Quote, when Lincoln Riley is your coach, regardless of who's under center, Miller Moss will be a Heisman candidate, and they'll put up 40 points a game.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
D'Anton Lynn will have that defense competing for a conference championship. Exactly to your point. UCLA was physical at the point of attack. They were great against the run.
Yeah.
And he recruited the hell out of the portal and upgraded his corners because they couldn't cover anybody.
Bro, Utah fans remember what happened to Cam Rising when they went to UCLA's place last year. You remember that, right? Like, he fumbled the football, tried to play hero ball to win that game, and that didn't really work out for you. So if we get, and maybe that's the biggest thing defensively that needs to change. Like, maybe we're complicating this too much. Maybe it is, hey, the defense as a unit just needs to have a better mentality. They need to want to inflict their will. And I'm going to guess that that's going to happen this year. So like I said, for all the Lincoln haters saying that somehow Oklahoma's better off or USC would be better off or Paul Finebaum trying to make his living saying that Lincoln's going to get fired, you're going to see improvement in this defense. But the question is it enough improvement to go out and stop Oregon, Ohio State when you need that one play?
When Matt Entz is on your staff and he's not your defensive coordinator, when he's your co-defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, he's just won multiple national championships in North Dakota, but, he's your co-defensive coordinator and linebacker coach. This defense is going to be fine. Yeah. And so when Lincoln Riley, I just go back and ask, who was it? Jay Chapman, who said that Oklahoma's better off without him. Does Oklahoma have that staff?
No.
Does Oklahoma have? They don't. And I think at some point, and I'm probably going to look like an asshole for this because I'm sitting here defending Lincoln Riley, and I'm a Notre Dame fan. I'm not even a USC fan. And I believe that speaking of Deion Sanders, I think Deion's got a hell of a staff. I think Lincoln Riley's got a better defensive staff than Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying something. That is saying something. Calford says he ain't no Pete Carroll. Okay.
Different time.
That football guy, Lincoln Riley, not only does not create defense, he doesn't recruit defense either. And again, I just went through the list.
Yeah, look, I think that you're going to have a really tough time. See, here's the difference. This year, he has recruited defense because he knows he has to. I don't think that as a head coach of a college football team, I don't think when Lincoln Riley turns on the college football video game, his first thought is, yeah, let's create an all-world defense. That's not his first thought. He's an offensive first guy, but he knows now that if he wants to get to that next level, which he does, he's got to be able to stop the ball. You have to be able to cover without committing penalties, and you can't have guys running down the sideline 50 yards at a time. That's not going to work.
No.
And again, I just go back to what I just said. The only reason that was happening is because you couldn't stop the run. So they were eating you alive with play action, and then you were exposed down the sideline. We saw that repeatedly. So I'm just telling you, they're going to be better defensively. So today's conversation is not whether Lincoln sucks or not. The conversation is, hey, are they going to be good enough? And this is my benchmark. Are you going to be good enough to stop Ohio State or stop Oregon or stop the good offensive teams in the conference when you need to? I'm not saying they need to hold, these teams to ridiculous score totals. I'm not asking you to hold anybody to 10 points. What I'm saying is put up 40 and hold them to 35 when you need to. That's all Lincoln's got to do, because ultimately, whether you win by 1 or you win by 20, you're still winning. And that's what he needs to do. He needs to win a lot of games this year, now.
And I think what's very interesting is, what else is Lincoln Riley talking about? We have a lot to prove. We are in rebuild mode. We have to be better. I think he's doing a masterful job. But I know he doesn't recruit defense, so I guess it's for nothing. Tanner Plummer, hello. Welcome to the nightmare. Guys. Good morning. Sorry I'm tardy. I lost my hall pass. Yeah, it's going to be tough to get back.
Be better.
It's going to be tough to get back. Kay Sumbry, Jake is so high class, LOL.
The hell does that even mean?
You're You're a childless Catwoman, I believe. Is
Okay.
what he's referring to.
I mean, if that's what you're referring to, that's funny.
Archer Quick, good to see you, Arch. Says flight on. I agree. Wet blanket. All Oklahoma does is beat Texas.
Apparently,
I think it's really interesting, a juxtaposition. All Oklahoma does is beat Texas, and they did. Who was the football coach when that was happening? Lincoln Riley. Just saying. And I agree. Tom Herman is a dastardly figure in Texas football. The Charlie Strong's, the we're not very good era of Texas football that ended when Steve Sarkisian showed up with his unbelievable staff and took that thing to another level. They're not Oklahoma here. Does Oklahoma have that ability? Can Oklahoma do that? Not under Brett Venables. I don't think they can.
well, and I think what this comment alludes to is obviously the Dylan Gabriel drive this past season to win that game, and
Certainly.
and that's fair. They won the game. I'm not trying to discount that at all. But what I'm saying is that when you look at Oklahoma now versus when Lincoln was there, I don't think it's in dispute that Oklahoma feels smaller. They're not as relevant as they were. Certainly, the Heisman conversation's not happening there. With all due respect to Dylan Gabriel, who isn't there anymore. Like I just think that Oklahoma is just in a different place now, and I do think that they are in huge danger of becoming an afterthought in the SEC. They're going to be, until they prove they're anything different in the SEC, they're going to be a team that is season wrecker, as I call them. They're going to be that team that's good enough to beat you, but not good enough to win the conference or compete for that conference, because they're not beating Bama. You're not beating Georgia. You're not beating LSU when LSU is having their good years, because LSU is that team. You're going to have a bad year. Then you're going to, go out and try to compete for a national championship. And then the next year, you're going to be an 8-win team. Like, that's LSU. They're up and down like that. So in the good years, I don't think you're as good as LSU either. So that's the problem, is that if the Lincoln Riley hater is going to have a real bad day when in November, Lincoln is getting praised for being undefeated or being a one-loss team and handling teams that maybe people thought, well, it's USC. They're not going to play defense. Well, all of a sudden they're playing defense, and all of a sudden the stats say you can't run on them as well, and you're going to have a real tough time. So if it gets to that point, I'm just telling you, you're going to see a big shift in narrative.
Oklahoma was better than Texas for a decade or more. Truth. Sark finally seems to have turned Texas around. Yeah, I would agree with that. The awkward guy. Who is Oklahoma's quarterback this year? Are you being serious? You don't know? It's Jackson Arnold. Unless I'm no, I know I'm not wrong. It's Jackson Arnold. The guy is one of the top quarterback recruits in the country. And I believe he started the bowl game for them last year. He's a stud. He is a stud. Archer Quick, Oklahoma fans are delusional. On Lincoln Riley, they are. I think Oklahoma fans are great. And I think Oklahoma has had some lean years. I don't disagree with that. Anybody that's taking Brett Venables over Lincoln Riley is out your goddamn mind.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're thinking.
I think Venables has done a good job. With what he's got to work with, and I mean, to win that game against Texas this year, that was a hell of a performance. I mean, that was an instant classic as a college football fan.
The ghost of Gumby. USC's defense will improve when they add an upper deck and lower concession prices at the Coliseum.
Thank you.
Why, Gumby?
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Why? Now, you guys, listen. I was at TCU, and I was chewing on a Buc-ee's teriyaki beef jerky. Let me tell you, God bless. You know how much I love that jerky. Mike Smith, Lincoln is no Gundy. Go. Exactly right. Exactly right. USC now has an all-world defensive staff. I mean, I think that is, I think it is, Steve Ottomar. Matt Entz from North Dakota State is the new linebackers coach. correct. You must be behind a little bit. He just probably said that before I said it. Scott of Graywater Watch, Ohio State had one of the best recruiting transfer offseasons since the portal has been a thing. USC doesn't have near the pressure Ohio State does. Well, I also think that Lincoln Riley, again, I think the number's top 35.
Why do you think that's the number?
Because Lincoln Riley has to show that he truly is hands-off defensively. There is a big belief that he has essentially told D'Anton Lynn and Matt Entz, this is your deal, go do your job, which is exactly what he should have been doing.
Yeah.
And I think that...
But I don't think Grinch was trustworthy enough, and I don't think that Lincoln, as a head coach, was in a position to just let Alex Grinch go and do that.
Because I also think that they did not have the resources they needed on defense, talent-wise. And I think it is awfully difficult that when you look at what he's built as a staff, that it's tough to argue that they're not one of the best defensive staffs in college football. I love Steve Sarkisian, and I love the staff that he's built, and Pete Kwiatkowski and that group are amazing. And when you look at what Pete Kwiatkowski and the rest of those guys have done there, and Johnny Nansen, and you look at the staff at Texas, Peter Kwiatkowski turned the USC job down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was probably one of the worst things that's ever happened to Lincoln Riley. Until now, he's got D'Anton Lynn and Entz in that staff. And I agree with Lincoln that they are on a trajectory. The problem is, wasn't there talk that they paid him like $100 million, Lincoln Riley? You pay a guy $100 million, there's no trajectory but national championship.
Well, and I think that's always the expectation at SC, and I think people's problem with SC is that they're a program that obviously went through a lot of turmoil for many years, but then Lincoln comes in, and as a football coach, he expects national championships, obviously. But again, I think in his personal development as a football coach, he doesn't know how to do that yet. And I think he's learning how to do that. And I think he's learning that the old Big 12, you could go out and just boat race people offensively. And I think he's figured out now and accepted, to your point, that, hey, that's great. I can put together a 40-point offense, but if we're giving up 50, it doesn't matter. And that's what I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see them hold teams to right around 30 points a game. And if you do that, you'll be fine.
And I also think there's something to be said for what he did at Oklahoma. And I'm not going back and trying to pick that scab, but are we believing that the pressure at SC is too much after Bob Stoops, and you essentially replace Bob Stoops? I don't think that's true.
I think the spotlight's bigger in LA, than it is in Oklahoma. I think that Lincoln personality wise is a great fit for the SC job. And I think that he's a great speaker with the media. He says stuff like this, that in that clip that bother me sometimes, but generally speaking, he's pretty good at talking to the media and trying to control the narrative and doing what you need to do as a head coach. But yeah, I think if you start to win, and this is the message I would send to the Lincoln haters. Once he starts to win, once they get into the college football playoff this year and he wins that first college football playoff game, now the narrative totally shifts on Lincoln. Now we're going to start talking about, hey, yeah, he finally figured out how to put a defense together. USC is clearly headed in the right direction, and now he's got some result to show for it. That's his biggest problem right now, is just that he's doing all the right things, the staff, the talent, everything's awesome. Amazing, best ever offseason you could possibly have. Cool. But nobody cares until you start to win those games. And once he wins those games, which I think he will, then we'll have a different conversation. But I'm telling you, if you look at their schedule, and let's say, and again, I don't know what they'll do against LSU, but let's say you lose to LSU and you start 0-1. You're going to have to go on a run here where you win.
Can't do that.
9-10 in a row.
Can't
and
do
that's
that.
tough. You have to beat LSU.
You can't lose to LSU in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
You can't. Not with the changes that good old Southern boy Brian Kelly's gone through. Justin Bemis, hello. With Strong and Herman gone, CDC finally gets a head coach that can produce NFL talent. This ain't 11 years of crappy head coaches, new horizons at Texas. I agree. I'm also the guy that has been the lone defender of Steve Sarkisian on this show.
Yeah.
Because all last year, remember, Texas wasn't back.
Oh, and I think Sark is dealing with that same thing that Lincoln's dealing with. That you're at a program that's huge brand, huge nameplate. Like, you're not at a small program. And the Texas is back narrative is the same thing as Lincoln trying to sit here and talk about being at the top of every conference. And we're always talking about SC trying to be better. We're always talking about is Texas back or not. And I think that, again, this first season, there's a ton on the line for Texas. You got people out there picking Texas to win the conference. And I think that's incredibly disrespectful to Georgia and secondarily Alabama. Because when you get Georgia on a football field in the SEC championship game, I don't care how talented you are. Talent's not what's going to decide that. Execution in the moment is what will decide that. And I just think we're getting a little ahead of the curve saying that Texas is going to go out and win the SEC in year one. That is something I will believe when I see.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that that's a bad thing to have expectations either. Scott of Graywater Watch, is USC top 4 in the Big Ten? A lot of people think they are.
Oregon, right?
I think those are the top 2 teams in the
top
Big Ten.
2 teams. Penn State fans going to tell you they are. I don't believe they are. Again, another program that year in and year out is super inconsistent, so you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. I think I want to, and I need to see.
What's the fall off at Washington? Do we get, can Jed put together a 9-win season?
I think USC is more talented than Washington.
I would agree.
The thing I don't know, how many games is Nebraska going to win that they're not supposed to win? And not to be a cock about it, but what's Iowa going to do offensively? Look at your motherfuckers back. Now treat that bug with respect.
Bro.
Treat the bug with respect.
Damn.
Come here, buddy.
Come here, buddy.
He deserves your respect.
How do you know it's a he?
Because the hose, you're right. The hose do love me. John, I can't pick it up.
Just get a piece of paper. Don't you have a pad right there? Get a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're doing ladybug treatment here.
No, I'm doing ladybug treatment because you refuse.
Just got to get him on the piece of paper.
You refuse.
Oh, God damn it. Dude, come on. You're dropping buddy now.
This is a ladybug savior movement. Ladybugs are so cool. There they are. There it is right there. You guys see that? Put this on our plant over there. Drop it in the plant. There you go. We have a big plant in the studio. And Jake, don't murk the ladybug. Did it get in there? Yeah. Okay, good. There, we're good. We're good. Now we can go back. Okay. I think it's Ohio State 1, Oregon 2. I'm going to take Iowa 3, USC 4, Michigan 5. That's how I would put it. I think Iowa, and I almost feel like my balls are going to be in a grinder for saying this. I almost feel like Iowa's going to score points this year. I know.
Come on, man.
I know.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I know. I feel like Iowa's going to score points this year. And if they do not, now I have the creepy crawlies. If they do not, they're, it'll be terrible. I don't believe that Michigan's going to continue to be good. I think they're going to have a precipitous fall off. And my biggest question is, how many games does Nebraska win? Because Nebraska is picked anywhere from 8th to 4th in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. How effectively can they run the football this year? I would expect them to run much better this year than they did last year.
Yeah, and I wonder about their defense, and I wonder about their ability to do it. It's a long season in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And they're UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, Illinois. I think they're probably going to beat Illinois, although I think Brett Bielema's got a good thing going in Champaign. At Purdue, Rutgers, at Indiana. They don't play a game until at Ohio State on October 26th. Because when you play Colorado in Boulder, much more difficult game than it is in Lincoln. And let's see what Deion's got in Lincoln week 2. But I think you're gonna start 4-0. I think you're probably beating Purdue. I think you're probably beating Rutgers. And I think you're probably beating Indiana, who I think is the worst team in the Big Ten. And I think you're 7-0 at that point. Or 6-0, excuse me. Going to Indiana, you're 7-0. And then you're going to lose at Ohio State to be 7-1. UCLA's a fucking wreck.
Yeah.
Did anybody see this yesterday?
Bro.
Did anybody see? Bro? You hired a legacy guy in Deshaun Foster, and this was his first words as UCLA's football coach.
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. We I'm just basically excited, really. That's it. Any questions?
In a second.
And, pardon me,
Bro, what are we doing? Like, how are you not prepared, bro? Like, how do you have no speech prepared? How do you have no...
It's us and USC.
No, dude, I got news for you. It's just USC. With all due respect. It's just USC.
That's one of the most awkward things. Other than this,
Quack. Quack.
that's one of the most. This is more awkward. This is more awkward. This is more awkward.
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what these dudes are doing. I don't know how you show up, and frankly, how you don't show up at the podium. With like what? How are you not prepared? I can't believe this, dude.
Is that not the worst thing you have seen? I mean, that is
like, at least give a shit speech. At least just go in there with a clearly canned speech that ChatGPT made for you and read the damn thing.
Yeah, giggity. At least he didn't admit to drinking and driving.
Like, holy crap, bro.
OG Gary, Joe Biden moment.
No,
yes.
you know what that was, dude? With all due respect, that wasn't a Joe Biden moment. That was a he's lazy and unprepared, not taking it seriously moment. That's what that is. That's all that is.
It's amazing. John, a few days ago, Monty was saying the TV deal for the NBA rights was done.
No, actually, we didn't say that, dude.
No, you're the guy who said that TNT didn't have the ability to match. And we told you they did. The NBA says they didn't match. It's going to be a lawsuit. Jake, the first thing Jake said to me yesterday was, call the lawyers.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lawsuit.
In the room, dude.
TNT just matched Amazon's TV rights. They didn't. And they have a matching clause, right, which we told you. So good to see you. Goes to Gumby, UCLOL, exactly. Calford laughed at that. Finally, Cal is doing something better.
But I'm being serious. Like, if this dude did anything else in life, he'd have been fired on the spot.
It's Deshaun Foster.
Well,
the guy that you controversially hired to be your head coach.
I just...
Because Chip Kelly didn't want to be there anymore. He went to take an offensive coordinator job. DeAnton Lynn took the job at USC, and that's the guy you hired, and he can't speak. UCLA. That's an L for lost. Jimmy Otson. No Penn State in the top 5. They usually only lose to Ohio State and Michigan. Well, this ain't the same league that we're all used to, right? I think I'm not discounting. It's James Franklin. It's Pedo State. Like,
Happy Ending Valley.
is there anybody who truly believes that when you look at this Big Ten and this version of the Big Ten, and you look at Penn State's schedule, at West Virginia, they're going to start 0-1. Bowling Green, Kent State, Illinois, UCLA.
Wait, are you trolling with that, or are you being serious?
No, I think they're going to go to West Virginia and lose.
Yeah.
Because James Franklin is more worried about polishing the knob on Joe Pa's statue than he is about respecting Neil Brown needs fired. UCLA at USC at Wisconsin. Those are two very difficult games with a lot of travel. Now there's a bye week in between. Ohio State, Washington. That's one of the toughest stretches of any schedule in the country. And you're going to make the case to me that they're going to be on par with Oregon, Ohio State. I think they're on par with Michigan because Michigan's going to take a substantial step back in talent. So you're going to have to improve or show that your guys are ready. But Pedo State never wins the biggest of the big, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't have any reason to believe. Now, they avoid Oregon, which is huge. But you also get very lucky that Ohio State and Washington have to go to Happy Ending Valley.
Mm-hmm.
But your road games are West Virginia. Then you don't play another road game. You do not play a road game in September. You are at home for 6 weeks until you go to USC. Then you go to Wisconsin. You only go to Camp Randall after a bye week. And then you're home until November when you play at Purdue, at Minnesota, finish with Maryland. That should be a conference championship caliber schedule. I don't think it will be because it's James Franklin.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
But
what's he showing you that would make you feel like it'd be different than that? I mean, I just think that, again, Penn State typically does not come through with anything. I'm here for one thing. I am here for is Penn State home game, night game, whiteout game. Those games I'm here for, whether they win or lose, because the atmosphere is just incredible.
Yeah. The Chad Carter, UCLA couldn't pay for a speechwriter since they're paying all that money to Cal.
I get it.
Calamoni.
I get that.
Calamoni. Harvey Specter suiting up for TNT.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
I just don't understand how do you get it so fucking wrong? I love that on our show, we've become the show that's always wrong no matter what.
Yeah. Which means we're right pretty much all the time.
I think we straight up told you that TNT, I'm pretty sure because this is what I was told.
We talked about it. Yeah.
TNT doesn't want to pay the money. TNT wanted a smaller package.
Yeah.
And the NBA has every right to reject what TNT offered because they didn't match the Amazon deal dollar for dollar, allegedly.
Yeah.
And you look at, I would point to the statement that was released by TNT. We've matched the Amazon offer as we have a contractual right to do and do not believe the NBA can reject it. Let's just get something straight.
Yeah.
What's the contract say?
Well, I don't think anybody specifically knows the exact words, but what the contract seemingly says, based on everyone's behavior on both sides of this negotiation, seemingly it says, hey, TNT's got the right to match, and if they match, then obviously you got to go with TNT. But because, and this is the part that I think in the rest of the statement that really stands out, TNT in this statement is essentially saying, hey, we matched, the NBA still went with Amazon, so we're going to sue. But if that was actually true, the NBA wouldn't have gone with Amazon.
This is going to come down to what the contract says. Because note what they say here. In doing so, they're rejecting many fans who continue to show their unwavering support for our best-in-class coverage. Well, there's a big belief that Amazon is going to hire TNT. Delivered through the full combined reach of Warner Brothers Discovery's video-first distribution platform, including TNT, home to our 4-decade partnership with the league and Max, our leading streaming service. This is where the rubber meets the butthole. What?
Nothing.
This is where the rubber meets the road. The NBA, according to what I've been told, is going to say that Max is not on par with Amazon Prime.
Which I agree with.
I totally agree with that.
It's not on. I don't ever even watch Max. I don't have a Max account. I have a Prime account.
Let me ask you something point blank, because I think your generation matters here. Sorry. I do. I mean, you're saying child
right now that you never say.
You childless cat women need to understand that your generation. Do you love Inside the NBA on TNT?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing for the NBA is that show has, obviously elite personalities, obviously legends, and I think that the issue is that TNT wants to come in here and say that, oh well, Max is this great streaming platform, and we matched our offer. We matched Amazon's offer like for like, and so there's no way that the NBA would ever want to go with Amazon, one of the leading streaming platforms in the world right now, to have its coverage through the next decade. But what has the NBA told us outside of this negotiation? What has the NBA said? What has Adam Silver said? Hey, our goal is to have a national game in our league every single day. We want to have one game a week that is available to everybody in the country. What better way to do that than to get in bed with Amazon? So, yeah, the NBA and TNT coverage and Inside the NBA is hugely important to me. I look forward to it every single week in the NBA season. But the problem I have is I don't feel like TNT, based on what this looks like, again, I've not seen the contract, don't know the exact verbiage, but based on what it looks like, it doesn't seem like TNT is going through the negotiation in good faith, meaning you're trying to hammer home the point that you matched like for like, and you clearly didn't. So let me get this right. You're trying to make the case that the NBA is just ignoring your offer that you say is like for like and going with Amazon because Amazon's a better platform. Because that's what the statement's going after. When you start saying things like our class-leading coverage and our class-leading streaming
don't forget
service,
decades-long
partnership, like you're trying to establish undeniable value that you bring that Amazon does not bring, and you're saying that the NBA ignored your like-for-like offer and went with Amazon because I got news for you. Amazon reaches a hell of a lot more people than Max does. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And the problem TNT is about to have is that, and really Warner Brothers Discovery is about to have, is that you clearly didn't match like for like. You clearly were not willing to pay whatever the number was. I think it was like 1.7 billion or like whatever the number was. Like, you clearly weren't trying to match that.
Yeah, I think TNT, it's what I tell you guys every time somebody says they were wronged. Okay, what's the contract say?
Like, it's a clear-cut case of contract law, dude.
Whatever
it's not complicated.
It's in writing. Whatever the terms of that agreement are, we'll see. But Big Blue Horses, which conference will eat itself in the regular season and hurt its playoff chances, and why is it the Big Ten? Well, usually that's the SEC. Already crowned Florida State is not going to have much of a fight this year in the ACC, in my opinion. But we'll see. We shall see. I hate spiders. I want everybody to understand that.
Was there another one?
A huge one. And it was on the floor, and I tried to kill it, and it crawled up I have a wand in my bathroom to clean our toilets with here at the studio because I hate dirty toilets, and it crawled up the wand. And I just fucking hate spiders so much. I deserve better. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show, as always, is presented by our good friends at Prize Picks. 1 for 3 last night. Thank you, Francisco Lindor. Thank you. Because you're the only MFer that showed up. And I make the classic mistake that everybody who plays daily fantasy makes. Oh, my favorite team is the Chicago Cubs. I love the Chicago Cubs. And so, of course, I'm going to take players from the Chicago Cubs against the Brew Crew.
Oh, yeah. Dansby Swanson to go deep 10 times,
And so the Chicago Cubs yesterday with Nico Horner going 0 for 4. Thank you for that. I'm just going to be over here effing myself. And then I would also like to thank Shohei Ohtani, who went 0 for 4 last night. Thanks. I'll see myself out. And I thought if there was anybody who could help me on daily fantasy, it was Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
And he went 0 for 4.
Right.
So I got boom out of Francisco Lindor and his beautiful children in the dugout, and nothing out of Nico and Ohtani.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That was not great. And I still have $590 in my Prize Picks account because generally I win on Prize Picks because all you have to do, and here's the formula, I'm handing it to you.
Yeah, blueprint.
All you have to do is make 3 selections. So today it's basketball.
Bro, no golf?
Shut your mouth.
Dude, there's money to be made on the tour today.
You childless Catwoman. Today you have to take the LeBron half point promo that is in Olympic basketball.
I think that's for Sunday, no?
It is for Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But you got to take that.
Yeah.
Right? I think you have to take that. And then I think
Anthony Edwards, the number 1 option on the team, 12.5 points.
Let me be serious with you because some people clearly are not. I love Corbin Burns versus Miami. 2 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. I love that play today. Love it. I also like Logan Webb against the Doyers. Less than 2 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. I love those 2 plays today. Now, as far as golf goes, you and I both know as a degenerate prick golfing just obsessor.
TPC Twin Cities. Should be a lot of scoring that happens on this course.
It's called the 3M Open.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Right.
Billy Horschel is going to fall back to earth, so take him more than 68 and a half strokes. My guy in this tournament is Eric Van Rooyen. He is a sexy guy.
Stay hard.
Good-looking dude with an unbelievable mustache. Eric Van Rooyen's your guy in this tournament. Don't say I didn't tell you that.
Yeah, I went Nap less than 69.5.
What is your
Eric Van Rooyen less than 69?
Stay hard.
You are so
Billy Horschel less than 68.5.
Okay.
I already had a book.
Billy Horschel played the round of his life.
Yeah, and I think a cool little 68 for him is not a problem.
Okay. Well, just easy 68.
Yeah, it's not that hard of a course. Bro, it's not. It's
then you
so
go out. You go out and break 100.
I'm not a pro golfer. I'm telling you.
I said break 100.
Yeah, I can break 100. I'm usually in the 80s somewhere, high 80s. I'm telling you, these guys should be well into the 6-7 under for a round today, for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay. I love it. Download that. This is why I like Prize Picks.
Yeah, I can tell you how stupid you are, and then I'm going to be perfect and make thousands of dollars. It's great.
Look, cat lady. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Do you guys not love the childless cat lady bombs that make JD Vance look like a cock? I think
my
they're
guy
hysterical.
Over here thought it was a good idea to go live this morning before the show on TikTok and Instagram. And what's the first thing we get? So predictable. Oh, well, Vance is amazing, and he's our hero. He's what we need.
What I said was,
come on.
Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty, to get 100% deposit matching. Play $5, they'll give you 5 more. It is so much fun. DM me your picks. I love right now that I've gotten so many people
stay hard
boned over golf on Prize Picks. People are DMing me screenshots of their Prize Picks PGA stuff. I love that.
But not Gary, obviously. I mean, he's not
Gary
interested.
Woodland?
No, OG Gary. He's not interested in golfing with
Yeah,
us. Or,
OG Gary doesn't play golf,
yeah.
apparently.
So he doesn't.
I mean, he
wanna
says he
prospect
does
golf.
and stuff, but he really doesn't.
Yeah.
He really doesn't.
Yeah.
Fight on Natty says, "How's it going, gents? What's up?
Good
Good
dude.
to see you." Shohei took the under on himself, dude. That really bothered me. I have a policy that I don't use asshole lying fucks in my prize picks. I don't choose those guys.
So then why are you taking Lincoln, bro? My bad. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. That's my bad. Sorry.
You know, we were having such a good show.
I knew today would be shitty.
And then you showed up.
Yeah. Well,
it's fine. Brandon Butler, JD Vance must have read How to Make Friends and Win Women's Votes.
Yeah, clearly.
This bro went on Tucker Carlson and said that Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg are childless cat women. So not only are you a misogynist, but you're also a gay-hating jagoff.
You know,
and you alienated a whole sect of women.
I get it.
And then almost 8 years ago, the guy who says he is pure Appalachia, JD Vance, 8 years ago was the earliest reference, and he's done it several times, but 8 years ago in writing compared Donald Trump to an opioid.
I don't regret those decisions.
Do you know how much of an insult that is when you are, because Appalachia, and I'm not saying he's Appalachia because I just don't believe he is, but when you're from the Appalachians in Appalachia and you understand the absolute decimation that opioids have had on Appalachia, to compare Donald Trump to an opioid is like the worst insult you could lob. And that's what JD Vance did. It's fine. Calford, what about them bringing up Kamala's past with Jerry Brown? Oh, yeah. Calling her a whore and yeah, I mean, it's playbook stuff. Jake is childless, and Jake also loves him kitty cat. Marty ain't wrong.
It's well said, dude. It's really well said. Thank you.
I think it's funny. Big Bum Bo 22. What about Deshaun Foster's excellent public speaking skills?
We can play it again. I mean,
I'm happy to play it again.
I think this is one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen a head coach do.
I think this is who UCLA is now. Let's just be honest about UCLA is a laughingstock and a non-factor in Los Angeles. Right. Nobody goes to the Rose Bowl to see them. Nobody cares. You're talking about firing Lincoln Riley. His quarterback was the #1 pick in the NFL draft to the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
MVP candidate. He won a Heisman Trophy, competed for conference championships, all that. Successful. They want to fire him. And then there's Deshaun Foster.
I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, but our football program, but we're in LA.
Who cares? That's why we don't.
It's us and USC.
No,
really?
dude, it's not.
Oh, really?
We I'm just basically excited, really. That's it.
That's all.
Any questions?
Nah, bro, we're good.
We're good, dude.
In a second.
Go ahead and see your way
There's
out.
nothing to talk about here, bro.
Any questions? Okay, cool. Peace out. I would just like to say,
hey, see you guys next year. All right. Thanks.
whatever you're paying the PR department at UCLA, not enough. And that was amazing. The job you guys did preparing Deshaun to speak.
Man. Whew. Wow, that was a
just
burner.
go ahead and re-roll all the Joe Biden jokes.
Dude. But see, I think it's worse than what happened to Joe.
It's us and USC. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's USC and that's it.
Like, man.
That's all.
I just don't know how in good conscience you rolled up to that podium without a speech in hand. How? No talking points, no. At least give us a line of crap about how you're actually going to be good this year.
Does San Diego State have more fans than UCLA right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Does I'm not even. I'm only half joking. What the hell happened? Anybody? Can somebody call Bob Toledo? You don't even know who that is. Are you out? Are you out?
Look here, man.
Goddamn mind,
Yes.
Deshaun Foster.
Yes, he is. Yeah. Yes.
That was a masterpiece of dog shit.
Not a single comment about Bieniemy. Not a single comment about, hey, we're excited to go to the Big Ten. Hey, that money we're paying Cal is not going to hurt us.
Dude,
hey, that, the Under Armour deal that kicked us in the cock. Like, don't worry about that.
Bro,
it's over
you
now.
Started your press availability with, yeah, you guys don't know much about UCLA, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
UW fan Jim. Hey, you guys don't know us, but we're friends with USC.
What?
Like, I know, hey, I know Lincoln Riley personally. We're friends. We're friends. And I don't know if you guys know this, but like Andy Reid has a huge influence on our program. What was that?
And I love the
Deshaun?
chuckle. I love the chuckle there in the middle when he knows he's effed. When he knows, yeah, I messed this up. And any questions? Any questions? Like,
and before I get out of here, I'd like to say, all right, we'll see you.
Yeah.
Well, peace out.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next year.
We'll see you at the Holiday Bowl.
Yeah, thanks.
If we win that lawsuit.
Like, I'm just, it never ceases to amaze me how stupid people can be. Like, I'm not asking you or criticizing you for not winning games, Deshaun. Bro, I'm criticizing you because you let your school down. You embarrassed your program. Like, man, I just don't know how it's that difficult.
Yeah, I just want you guys to know, Jackie Robinson played at UCLA, and we're actually, I don't know if you guys know this, we are actually not in Los Angeles. We're in Westwood.
And pardon me.
OJ lived down the road before he died and murdered Ron and Nicole. You guys want to go to Carney's and get a hot dog? All right. Is it just that he did not want to talk about UCLA football? We don't have you guys seen our powder blue uniforms? Did you guys know we have a Golden Dome too? For sure, bro. Like,
My bad.
yeah, Glenn, we're in LA. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
I just can't get over that the first thing he thought to say was, you guys probably don't know much about UCLA. Like, what?
Deshaun Foster needs to come out today and redeem himself by announcing an upper deck expansion at the Rose Bowl. Oh, my God.
Well, look, guys. Look, we got a stadium-wide deal with Carney's, and we're going to have a bunch of hot dogs off the rollers, and we're going to have an upper deck.
It's USC and USC's +1.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Bro was a few steps away from saying fight on. He really was. All right, guys, fight on. Lincoln's right over there. I'll see you guys later. Go ahead, talk to him. God can't fucking stop you, but you go ahead and talk to him. Okay.
Oh, shit.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Foster had a glitch in the Matrix moment. He did. I mean, you know that Hollywood does mean business in LA. I mean, they have a sign and everything. Yes. He's an alumni. I know. Yes, he is.
And
that's
he
exactly
still
right.
Embarrassed them.
Oh, my God. I wonder if the Big Ten regrets taking them. I don't think so.
Who doesn't?
God damn. That's his bit. How many guys are going to flame at media days this year?
Like at Big 12 media days, the criticisms were, hey, people spoke too long, or like,
or Mike Gundy said he routinely gets DUIs.
Drives drunk and is
Mike
totally
Gumley?
irresponsible. Like, like,
did you just?
I didn't say Gumley. Bro,
I love it. It's fine. It's fine. UCLA, LA. Exactly. Me. It's so bad. It's terrible. All right, couple other things, because then we have to get to road rage. Do you guys like Oregon football? We never got to finish this conversation yesterday. Who's the most hated in the comments section? And you can't say Monty, Marty, Morty. Who do you hate in sports? Like, who's the team that you're like, minus the Chicago White Sox? Followed very closely by Jake. My number 2 would be the Packers. Me? I hate the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers and the White Sox. Other than that, I'm a casual observer of the Lakers because I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. It speaks for itself. My number 2 is Devin Booker, and then my number 3 is probably the Lakers.
I don't hate teams. I dislike dudes.
Yeah, look
as athletes.
Look Hap.
Dylan Brooks, Aaron Rodgers, and all the jagoffs that went to live golf. Those are the guys that I don't like.
Dylan Brooks. Jesus. I hate Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
I have very little sports hate. Jimmy Otson, the Utah Jazz. You're not alone. USC, Pedo State, the Dodgers. Is USC in Louisiana? I believe it is. Ask Gary. OG Gary's a UCLA fan. I guess I don't hate.
I don't hate teams because the team changes. The personality on the team changes all the time. So I don't really hate team. That's not how it works for me. I greatly dislike certain individuals.
Jerry Reinsdorf.
Yeah, like you're Garbo, dude. You are literally like the worst of the worst. And the Ricketts are right there with you.
The Dallas Cowboys. Many people hate the Cowboys.
Yeah, right. Like there's that. Like there's a bunch of different players out there, but yeah, I mean the top of my list.
Skip Bayless. Yes.
Yeah, Drip Bayless. Yeah, we don't like him, dude.
Bayless.
Yeah, you guys remember that on Skip, dude?
Yeah. Glenn says, I'm old school. I hate teams. Steelers, Patriots, Chiefs.
Yeah.
I hate Jackson Mahomes.
Talk about a POS.
God damn. Brandon Butler, Packers, USC, Giants, and the Red Sox fans.
Max
Verstappen's teeth. Cam Harrison, Utah Utes. Do you really hate the Utes? I think Kyle Whittingham is one of the easiest guys to root for. I do. I think I'm really glad I am not born and raised in Utah. I don't hate BYU or Utah. I hate Utah. I hate everything about Utah. Good call on Skip and Paul. Add Stephen A. Smith for the trifecta.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't hate Oregon. What kind of UW fan are you? I don't hate Oregon. I don't hate teams, but Oregon really rubs me the wrong way. They have a real trailer trash vibe. Okay. What did Gumby say? The ghost of Gumby said, maybe UC LOL, stolen fight song, absconded with USC to the Big Ten, overinflated sense of importance. Jesus, is that true? Calford says, I agree. Oscar says all Boston teams for sure. Yeah, I don't like the Celtics. But I don't like Jaylen Brown. It's hard not to like Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Al Horford. But man, did I hate Derek White's one of those guys that you don't hate, you don't like, you just don't give a shit.
I respect his hustle though. I mean, he's been a key contributor on several good teams.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Cowboys for sure. Yes, DR. Who's DR? UCLA is right next to Tulane. Yeah, I believe that's true. Yeah, I mean, just down the street from Tulane.
Right.
And I now hate the Oakland A's ownership. You get in line. Oak State James. I don't hate many teams, just all of them who don't have an upper deck. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's, I get it, dude.
I don't hate many teams. I don't hate Texas or OU. I truly hate Ole Miss. How the fuck do you hate Ole Miss? What did Ole Miss do to you?
Random, dude.
I was at the Cotton Bowl in 2004. Had to hear Hottie Toddy 50 times. Just awful. You better get used to it because I think they're going to be good. Bama, Oregon, and OSU. Fight on. There you go. Yankees. I hate Team Squat. Why? Why? Why, Gumby? That's not very nice. Calford says the Lakers and Doyers. I hate the Dodgers. And BYU. I don't hate BYU. Hate state of Florida, Matt Ritson. Okay. The Flyers. Yeah, fuck the Flyers. Philadelphia. I'll move on. Calford. Pretty much all LA teams being from DeBay. Well, that's in your blood. All teams from Pennsylvania. Oops, from Pennsylvania. Okay. I hate expensive concessions. Okay. Those team squatters are nuts.
Yeah.
Get it? The nuts?
Yeah.
Your Bulls. Max crash happened and Nebraska cornballs football. Max Verstappen is such a dick. I cannot stand him. OG Gary. Well, it says I can't stand Lane. Well, you're a USC fan, so that totally makes sense. If I could get a job at Salt Lake VA Hospital, I'd take it and wear red and cheer for the Utes. Okay.
Here's my question, though, dude. Like, how does that work? You're an Oak State guy, bro.
Do you smoke crack in the morning before the show starts just so you can say stuff like this?
Like, that's got OG Gary vibes written all over it, that you're just going to be a fan of whatever team.
I don't understand that. At least OG Gary, in all seriousness, he is a Rutgers fan because he went there. Right? So I understand. I understand why OG Gary's a Rutgers fan.
Yeah.
I do. Washington must replace 20 starters. Okay. Okay. Like, there's no breaking news. Vikings wide receiver
you down.
Jordan Addison claims he found himself in a dark place after his arrest for DUI. Well, maybe. Let's get crazy. Maybe don't drink and drive, prick. I know.
What are you talking about, man?
My bad. Anyway, I understand why OG Gary's a Michigan State fan with what Nassar did there.
First time.
I get it.
First team all FaceTime,
But I've never understood people like, oh man, my favorite team is Oak State, TCU, Baylor, Texas. Did you guys know that SMU is Dallas?
I mean, it says Dallas on their uniforms.
Right on their uniforms.
Right on
and
their
Preston
uniform.
Stone's cock is gorgeous.
Stay hard.
Dude.
The cock.
Bro.
I've never understood people are like, oh yeah, I like this team and that team. I like the Yankees, the Red Sox. You know. Yeah. Come on, the Preston Stone penis thing never gets ugly.
Cock is beautiful.
And for those of you who don't roll in here and think that I'm like watching gay porn, I'm not.
Dude,
Oak State James.
JD Vance is coming for you.
Wait, and I want to real quick. I want to clarify. You say he's coming for me. Is that literal or figuratively?
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
Because I'm not a Catwoman. I have a kid. So we should probably move on. Anyway, Oak State James, he has a unhealthy stalking relationship with Preston Stone, the quarterback at SMU. And I do believe he shapes his carrots after Preston Stone's phallic symbol.
I want it.
And then eats them whole without chopping them up. That's a guess.
That's his version of a glizzy.
See? Just straight
I'm a man. Stay hard.
All right, we gotta go.
Okay.
Good to see you, James. Why do you still watch the show, James?
I'm a carb eating motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard that about. Huge Rutgers and Vandy.
What's up, motherfuckers?
In all seriousness, Gary is an LSU and Utah fan because as a child he was dropped on his head and he's never recovered from that. And the metal plate that's in his brain. Gary is a Utah fan and he is a student at LSU. That's why. Like the show, guys. Oh, thanks, Cam. Appreciate that. You guys should. Yeah, I don't know where we are. Likewise, almost 1,000 views and only 37 likes. Come on, hit the like button. UW fan Jim. I used to hate Miami when I was young, and they were good. Exactly. Hugh Johnson. I love your sister-in-law. I mean, it could be.
Yeah,
it could be Hugh.
Hugh Johnson.
Who are you, Preston Stone?
Bro.
I love your sister-in-law.
a dick.
James about to be a fan of the Big 12 teams with Oak State, Baylor for his wife, TCU because he's going there now, and now Utah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude.
Pause, bro. Pause, he says.
Yeah, you know.
James is a fan of all Texas teams. Calford, you show up to a game at Memorial Stadium wearing red and you get harassed. Truth. UW fan Jim, I like a ton of teams, but only bleed purple and gold. Go Dogs. That I can get down with. Just to be clear, James, you're rooting for Utah in week 4, right? That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I would presume that, but I mean, you know.
I imagine that James has a long prayer session dedicated to the Monty show.
Well, he does read books.
James is a pastor.
Yeah.
And he's straight up on this show, not making this up. He asked for an Amazon gift card on this show. His rationale for being the guy that won the gift card last week is so that he could read more priest pedo material for a new book he is writing. Can't do it. Can't do it. Cam Harrison says, shout out to Mo Bamba.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
There you go. Shout out to Mo Bamba.
Okay, now hold up. Now, an Instagram account titled James Paul White has just DM'd me.
Okay. And said, I don't appreciate that.
It says post unavailable, James. James is DMing me. Literally, it says post unavailable. What
Pastor James White.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do with that, dude? Like, I can't work with something I can't see.
Yeah. Well, that's what God's about. Can't see him, but you still believe.
Y'all want to play.
Do you guys love the Olympics? I like the Olympics.
You don't have to lie, dude. It's fine.
I don't hate the Olympics.
Don't lie to me.
My wife is an Olympic nerd. Okay. We live at the crochet venue as we watch Mabel and June battle it out for the gold medal. They are crocheting a cock holster for Preston Stone at LSU.
It's the Decathlon.
Here at the DeCock Olympics, in the sewing circle, we have a heated battle between Mabel and Miriam. They are crocheting baby clothes for J.D. Vance's followers, who we all know have many, many children.
Here I am.
Like my wife would quite literally watch any Olympic event. You name it. Like whatever it is. Olympic crawfish pulling. I don't even know. I'm not that guy. I like track and field. Obviously, I'm going to watch LaBust lose.
Oh, you guys are hating on LeBron. What the hell?
Well, now I can't say his name right because yesterday all you hyenas did on the show was be like, oh, La Cap, La Hairline, La Daddy, La
Gramps,
La Flag Bearer, La Gramps, La AARP, La Coach, La GM, La Ring Chaser,
La Receding Hairline,
La Rogaine. Like all of your stupid LeBron, La UCLA, like all of the stupid shit around La Cap.
Dude.
So now I can't say LeBron James. I have to come up with some La Cap.
Boom. Out of here.
You know, does it slap or is it Cap? Well, I don't know. He had to come back in the fourth quarter. Sounds like it's La Cap to me.
La Clutch.
You know, yeah, LeBlone Clutch, right? Anyway, I'm going to watch basketball to watch Devin Booker dominate people.
No, but for real, track and field is cool. I like watching track and
I
field.
like watching hot chicks throwing long rods. I like
the uniform for the pole vaulters is quite.
But have you guys heard about this track and field uniform thing?
Nah.
Nike's taken a bunch of shit. Now you know that they absolutely destroyed baseball uniforms.
Yeah.
They're making it right. But you essentially are nude if you're a female track athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You are. It's as simple as I can put it.
Right.
But I like track and field. I love watching sprinting. I think sprinters, my wife and I watched what I think it was the 1,000-meter race, the women's 1,000-meter, or 10,000 meters. I don't fucking know. Where they had to run around the track a bunch of times. Number one, mad respect, because I'm not even getting to the quarter pole.
Right.
And watching these two chicks duke it out was amazing. I love watching human beings running. I like basketball. I like diving. I don't mind swimming. I'm not watching the decathlon. You know, like I'm not watching the biathlon. I just am not ever like the opening ceremonies. Oh man, look at that! Wow, look at the flag bearer, dude. Look at the hat he's wearing. I don't give two rats' asses.
Well, Monty, the uniforms this year are quite incredible.
Like they're floating on boats down the river. Who gives a flying fart? I don't care.
Titanic vibes.
Can you just turn on the Olympic basketball game? Like, I don't care. I want to. Yeah. I don't. I want to.
Well, and Mrs. Monty is someone who is like, you know, so excited about the Olympics coming to Salt Lake. And
my wife is talking about quitting her job to volunteer.
Yeah, I'm not quite on that level, bro. Like I'm not quite there yet.
I'm not. Yeah, here's the track outfits. Men on the left, women on the right. Notice any different? Let's hope you wax this morning.
Bro, how is it that? Like what?
You ain't gonna have no bush down under. You get with that thing. Like that's
how many ladies are gonna wear like leggings or something under that? Boy shorts, something.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, that is way too skimpy, dude.
I'm excited for the Olympics. You know what? And this is gonna be like, oh, Monty, that's so nice. I like watching the Olympics with my wife. She loves it. I don't mind watching the opening ceremonies because my wife loves it.
Winter or summer?
Shut up. How many Miami Vice episodes? How many Miami Vice episodes has my wife sat through?
Loads.
Well, I don't know about loads during Miami Vice, but my point is, how many episodes of Miami Vice has she sat through? A lot. Right? So she wants to watch the Olympics. I'm all down to watch the Olympics. I like watching the Olympics with my wife.
You got to get stroked.
I'm Olympic golf.
Honestly, I'd start stroking guys.
Right? Olympic golf, I'm here for it. Olympic basketball, I'm here for it.
It's better than the Ryder Cup for us, man. Damn.
Gymnastics, I actually like gymnastics.
Yeah.
Simone Biles is a great story. Like I like watching it. I do prefer the Winter Olympics. I like snowboarding. I like the thing where they got to cross country. Like, who's the asshole who came up with this thing where you cross country ski and then you got to stop and shoot a rifle?
Well, I love in Park City right now, during the summer in Park City, you'll see people training to cross country ski, but under their ski is like rollerblades, which is wild to me.
Cardio sucks. But cross country skiing. My wife wants to go snowshoeing.
Nah.
Fuck no. I'm not going snowshoeing. Do you know how hard that is? Are you out of your mind?
No.
But I have a lot of respect for the grind that is winter sports.
Yeah.
Because cross country skiing and then having to get on your stomach and shoot a rifle, nah, bro. And then you miss the target, they make you ski more. Hell no. Nah, bro. But again, I love watching the guys go downhill in the Super G and just absolutely mangle themselves in crashes.
Yeah.
Right. It's amazing to me. But are you?
Look, I'm excited for the Olympics. I'm not like, oh man, I got to watch every second of it. Better DVR the entire, 20-day event or however long it is. Like, I'm excited for it. Obviously, it's only every couple of years. Like, I get it, but I'm not certainly as hardcore as other people are with it.
You guys, there are certain things that I love about this show.
Scott.
There are things like when we talk about what is to like about the Monty program, getting up at 4 a.m., that's not one of the things you like. But then when Oak State James sends you nudes, you just know.
Biologics.
You know that later on you're going to get some on you when you look at this picture.
A lot.
No Buc-ee's? No Sando? No Cup?
Bro? Okay.
What is the patch on his shirt say? Can you see what that says?
Central Texas Veterans Healthcare System.
Nice. Love that.
Central Texas Veterans Healthcare System. James is a chaplain.
Yeah.
But those are sunglasses. I was like, is that an old Nokia cell phone in your pocket?
That would be on brand.
That would be on brand. This just feels awkward to me.
I appreciate you, James.
As a Utah fan, though, I appreciate that you're wearing your Utah red.
I sifted through all that.
I do love the Olympics because my wife loves it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is. All right. Can we let's end the show talking about road rage today? I mean politics.
Right.
Did you guys see this shit about road rage? That there is a new list of the top 10 markets for road rage in our country.
Right.
Now, you may be surprised to understand California has skyrocketed to the top of the food chain when it comes to road rage.
Right.
Which, okay, I kind of understand. Californians tend to take things a little too seriously when it comes to driving.
Right.
Do you partake in road rage? I don't generally partake in road rage. It's not something that I think it's really stupid.
Well, when you say partake in road rage, is this just like yelling at people from your car, or like what? When you think of road rage, what does that kind of look like?
Confrontations between drivers. Arizona was number one last year. California is number one this year. Last year, California was ranked 13th.
Jesus.
Now they're number one. According to Forbes, California had the third highest percentage of drivers who had other motorists cut them off intentionally in 2024. Nearly 50% of drivers in California have experienced being cut off intentionally by another driver. California ranked fourth in the nation in terms of percentage of drivers who have, quote, been on the receiving end of yelling, insults, curses, or threats. 32% of California drivers have faced verbal abuse from other motorists. 11% of California drivers have seen other motorists leave their vehicles to fight and yell at them or other drivers. 35% reported that other drivers tried to block their car from merging or changing lanes. In Hawaii, only 1% of drivers experience road rage frequently. Here's the top 10. Number 10, Maryland. 9, New York. 8, Indiana. 7, Virginia. 6, Mississippi. 5, Colorado. Oklahoma 4. Utah number 3. Missouri number 2. California number 1. Utah is full of terrible drivers.
Yeah.
I am not a road rage guy. I don't generally flip people off. I am the guy who worries about people having guns in their cars. Oh, did I mention that gun violence involving road rage is skyrocketing across the country? Now, am I somebody that will occasionally not let somebody else merge? Yes. Am I somebody that I have occasionally driven in front of another car and slowed down, perhaps, maybe occasionally? Yes. I don't do that anymore. It's not worth it to me. And those were in my younger days. And according to 41% of drivers, they've witnessed an act of road rage in the past year. 40% another driver was driving badly. 38% driving aggressively. 31% they cut me off. 29% feeling stressed while driving. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, that's the thing that I think leads to a lot of problems for people. And I've been saying this for years, man, we don't teach people how to drive.
We do not.
We don't teach them what to look for or think about. Like, we don't teach them, like, hey, in bad weather, you got to be mindful what's behind you and what's in front of you, right? Like, you got to be mindful or know the answer. Like, hey, if you're driving in traffic on a snow-covered road, Do you have room to your left if you need to bail? Do you have room to your right if you need to bail? Like, we don't think about any of this stuff as we're driving. We're just like, oh, yeah, we're going to go down the road and it'll be fine. And so what winds up happening is we just are cruising around doing our own thing and not thinking about anyone else around us. And that's it. And that's the problem.
I just have stopped doing that altogether. Now, do I bitch about other drivers? Constantly.
Yeah.
But I'm not yelling at people. I'm not flipping people off. I'm not cutting people off. I have pet peeves. I hate that people don't use their turn signal. I hate that people don't look. I cannot tell you how many times here in the great state of Utah that people just pull out in front of you. They don't even look. It's amazing to me. How many old fucks are driving in the fast lane at like 30 miles an hour? And my wife's like, yeah, she's old. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's the drivers in Utah are terrible. Having said that, you know what stood out to me when I was in Boston? The amount of horn honking that goes on in Boston is ridiculous. Now, I used to be a guy that would honk my horn. I don't do that anymore. Notice, and we don't drive together very much at all.
You weaponize your horn.
Occasionally, I have been known to do that. Like, there are times where the only time it really bothers me is if you're on the freeway and somebody just cuts you off.
Yeah.
At speed. I'm going to lean on my horn.
Yeah, the thing that annoys me about people when they're lane changing is, like, if you slam over, right? Like, on the freeway is a good example of this. If I'm in the right lane getting off the freeway at the next exit and you slam over, but you're not getting off the freeway, that annoys me. Why are you getting over? And why are you doing it in a dangerous fashion? You know? Because that's the thing people, again, don't consider, that it's dangerous, dude. You're making an unnecessary move for what? That's what I don't get. Whereas if you would do what they teach you in driving school, which everyone seems to forget, which is, hey, look over your shoulder, put your turn signal on, check your mirror, make the lane change. It's not rocket science. Yet here we are. And the thing in Utah that's particularly disturbing is in the winter. In the summer, it's fine. In the winter, though, it's sketch as hell because there's nothing stopping, inexperienced driver in her Tesla with, worn out, all seasons on her car that can't stop. I can't do anything about that. That's the problem. That's why I try not to drive. Like in Utah, I tell people all the time, bro, if you don't need to drive like during the storm or before the roads have been treated, why are you driving? Why are you out? Why are you taking that risk? Why are you doing that? Yet people seemingly do it every single day. No problem.
Yeah. It's terrible.
So we wonder why there's road rage incidents. Like, we wonder.
I just have stopped doing it. It's not worth it. It's not worth not letting somebody get over. It's not worth it just isn't. I always ask myself, well, okay, well, why won't you let one car get in front of you? I've never understood that with guys. And I used to do it. And now I routinely let people in. I just don't understand why we did it.
Well, I have a problem letting people in when you cut the line. So, like,
yes,
getting on the freeway is different. If you're getting on the freeway and the freeway's backed up, you don't have another choice. It's not like, you intentionally cut the line. You're on the on-ramp. That's your only way to get on the freeway. You just got to merge in. That's what it is on the freeway. But like in construction zones, dude, if it, like on the road to Vegas, this happens routinely. From Salt Lake to Vegas, there's a 2-lane highway that's always got construction on it. And what people will do is they will drive up the shoulder and they will cut the line because their time is more important than everyone else's time. And they'll try to force their way in. I'm not letting you in, dude. Like that's like literally not happening. And that's when I won't let people in. But if you're just merging in or, if you're using your turn signal and you want to get over, I'll let you in, dude. Cool. Appreciate it. You use your turn signal. You did what you're supposed to do. Hop on in.
And there are several things that make Utah unique. The small penis, big truck guy here is, I think guys, I hate diesel trucks. If you drive a diesel truck, more power to you, I guess.
I don't mind dudes who drive diesel trucks who use them like for work. If you have like a $90,000 diesel truck that is built to pull things, and you actually pull stuff and you use the bed, and like you're a work truck guy, I have no problem with it. But I have a problem with these dudes who lift their trucks, put the underbody light on them. They have tiny ass wheels and tires on them.
And then they intentionally blow their diesel smoke on other cars.
It's like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Come on. That, and I have a lot of respect for over-the-road truckers. I think it's one of the most difficult professions in this world. You don't belong in the third lane. And I routinely, like driving up to Canyons Golf in Park City, it makes me crazy that truckers are in the third lane doing like 40 miles an hour. That is so dangerous. There are 5 lanes at certain points of the freeway going up from Salt Lake to Park City. It's a big climb. Why are you in the third lane? You should be in the first 2 lanes, especially the climb. Yet on the way down, you have these truckers who are like, well, I'm going 80. You shouldn't be going 80. You're in a big rig, right? You're in a big rig. Now, we don't give trucks enough room. We don't let them in ever. But a lot of it is that truckers just want to slam over and...
Yeah. They want to intimidate you because they drive a semi.
I just think that it's so dangerous for big rigs to be in the fast lane. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Roche says, I just want people to stop going slow in the left lane. Amen to that. Amen to that. We don't teach kids how to read a clock either. It's a long list. Oh my God. How about balance a checkbook? Or wait, we don't do that anymore. Hated being behind someone on a snowy road going uphill and hitting their brakes. I hate it.
And we see it all the time, right? We see the guy who drives his front wheel Honda in the middle of a winter storm and then is surprised when he gets stuck.
Oak State James, a good Christian man. I hate it when people don't use their turn signals. That is my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, just, it's your road. Everyone else is living on it.
Gumby, we also don't teach cursive. Correct. Mike Chase, driving a semi in Utah is frustrating. No one will let you in, and you have to force your way over a lot of the time or do a scare swerve.
Bro. I know you didn't just coin the term scare swerve.
Amy S., hello. Joshua Mose, I agree. Inconsiderate driving and anger in general went up during the pandemic. 100%.
Yes.
OG Gary, where did you get the road rage list? It was, I think the Sacramento Bee put it out. Yes, Sacramento Bee, sacbee.com. Archer Quick, Utah just as bad as California. I don't know, man. Last time I drove in California.
The difference is in California, you're getting a diverse sector of people. Like you're getting just a melting pot of people who, some guys are in beat ass trucks. Other guys are in really nice cars. And it depends what part of town you're in.
Mike Smith, jackass guys with diesel trucks with big stacks on them blowing smoke all over your car if you are behind them. Luckily, you do not see them that much anymore. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. I hate UW fan Jim. I hate when jackasses fly up, cut in front of you while exiting when there's 20 car lengths open behind you. Makes me crazy. Amy S. visited Baston. Being a pedestrian there is scary. It really is. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. Jake just nailed it when it comes to merge. And yes, Monty, there are small penis, big truck guys here in Texas too. Who knew? Ted Cruz. Did you guys see Ted Cruz? I hadn't seen the video until Monday. I meant to talk about this the other day. So Ted Cruz gives his speech at the Republican National Convention, and he wanted to go sit in the cool kids club with Donald Trump, and they asked him to leave. They wouldn't let him sit in Donald Trump's box. Good old Ted Cruz. Cancun Ted. Love that guy. OG Gary, the spacers on lifted trucks.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, thank God for truckers. They carry a lot of stuff that we need to buy at the store. Yeah, their supply chain. No doubt about it. Gotta go. Headed to Austin today. Have a great day. You too. You too. Maury Alvarez. Did Monty just say he was overly horny? Exactly. Yeah. Nobody likes you, Joe Dirt. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The official golf course of the Monty Show is, of course, Canyons Golf. Canyons Golf in Park City. Can't wait. I'll be back there for the first time in 2 weeks because I was out of town last weekend. I'll be back there Saturday and Sunday. Cannot wait to play. If you're up there this weekend, shout us out. It's always good to hear from you guys. We've seen so many of our listeners up there this year.
Yeah, who's trying to play Sunday morning, man? Let's go.
Jake's not playing this weekend, so I do need a playing partner.
I'm playing on Sunday.
Oh, she gave you permission to play?
Dude, well, you're just relentless with this.
How good does it feel when she actually takes the leash off?
The leash was never on, dude. It was never on.
It's sitting on the table, though.
It's always sitting on the table.
You know.
Jake is moving this weekend, so he's not playing golf.
I actually am playing golf on Sunday.
Oh, where are you
We
playing?
are.
We're playing together.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm available to play. It's fine.
Yeah.
Canyons Golf, the official golf course of the Monty Show. You guys, I love Canyons. It was great to see Darren Ingram. He was on local TV yesterday here in Utah, promoting Canyons and all the things you can do in the summertime there. That's what I love about Park City Mountain. You can get world-class resort experience. Go play golf. Go have a world-class meal. There's a great Mexican spot up at the new, oh my God, it went right out of my head. Pendry. At the new Pendry building in Park City, at Park City Mountain Resort. Canyons Village has a big Pendry building with a Mexican restaurant. It's so good. I love it. Canyons Golf, the official golf club of the Monty Show. World-class golf in a world-class resort setting. Mountain golf, the ball flies. Great fairways. Greens are undulated. Challenging but fun. Drive the ball well. Hit a 60-degree wedge into the green. Key to life.
Yep.
We going to the range today? No. Leash is on.
I have no idea.
Anyway. Canyons Golf, the official golf club of the Monty Show. Always good to see you guys.
Yeah. Gotta go.
I have to pee.
Yeah.
Good conversation today, boys. Love you. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.